It is Thursday, November 6th, 2025, and welcome in. This is another episode of Armchair Analysis. Hope y'all are having a good day so far. We have a lot to talk about, honestly. I didn't really know where I wanted to go with that. Sorry for the awkward pause, but we got a lot to talk about today. We got some action coverage to discuss, some games that have been played over the last couple of days. We'll recap those. We'll talk some other news that's dropped over the last over the last 24 hours, really. We just covered news yesterday. And then we will also have a game preview, Texas A&M and Missouri. I'm really excited for this game. There were a lot of things that told me maybe just a two-game preview week, and then I looked more into this game, decided I really wanted to preview it, really wanted to talk about it, so we're going to do that. If you're new around here, please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. We get that out of the way early. I know it's kind of a shameless thing to do, but please like and subscribe. It's free. It helps us out a lot. It helps these videos get out further, and it's really appreciated, honestly. I thank y'all so much. We hit 200 subscribers a couple weeks ago. We're just looking to continue to push forward and grow further. This is a community here. We love the comments. We love the discussion. The distraction, I guess, from the daily world. But the discussion here on the channel, please, as always, tune in. And with that said, let's go ahead and get into today's topics. We're going to go ahead and start with the last couple of days of action, starting with Tuesday. Akron decimated UMass, 44-10. Pretty consistent with what's been going on this year. UMass now 0-9 on the season. In year one under Joe Harris-Semiak. I hope they give him time to build a culture there. They're really struggling in terms of the culture department. I think it's become very obvious that they're having issues. And look, this is a team that they are the worst FBS team in the history of the FBS. I mean, look, I don't mean to be overly critical or anything, and I certainly don't mean to add on to what they already deal with, but that's the truth of the matter. This UMass team is the worst in college football, and they have been the entire time they've been here. And they continue to go through these coaching changes, and none of them ever seem to get anywhere. None of them ever seem to work in a way that they should. Look, I have a lot of faith in Joe Harris-Semiak. I think he'll do well. I think he's really trying to put together a good culture there. But it's very obvious that there's a lot of work to do on both talent acquisition and the side of culture building. So they're in their own way right now. But Akron has looks pretty solid as of late. Now 3-3 in MAC play. They're 4-6. They need to win out to make a bowl game. But look, this is the first time that Akron's won back-to-back or had 4 win seasons in back-to-back years since 2017, 2018. This is a program that's clearly going in the right direction. They started with back-to-back 2 and 10 years under Joe Moorhead, now up to four wins in back-to-back years, expecting that they'll probably continue to build and continue to grow. We'll see where Akron ends up, but I mean, I feel like they're kind of building in the right direction. I know there's still a lot to go, but if you know where this team was just 4 years ago, you have to kind of take it for what it is. By the way, that 2017-18 was the back end of 6 straight 4+ win seasons from 2013 to 2018. It's possible for this program to be good. It's just going to take time and again, building that culture. Joe Moorhead seemingly has a pretty solid grasp on that so far. Miami, Ohio, and Ohio, big rivalry game on Tuesday night. 24-20 win for the Bobcats as they move to 4-1 in MAC play. They become bowl eligible with the win. That was the game they needed, and Sia Bangura was a big part of that. With a kick return touchdown, added 1 on the ground, 102 rushing yards on his ledger as well. This Ohio team is always dangerous, and they're always going to be. Brian Smith's done a great job so far in year one of kind of keeping this culture together, keeping this team moving forward. Obviously, Ohio still wins in the regard of the losing of Tim Albin, keeping Brian Smith. The culture remains alive. This team continues to win games. They're 6-3 now in the season. Last night we saw a barn burner of a game. Well, I don't want to call it that because it certainly wasn't. It was more of a who wants to lose less type of game between Ball State and Kent State. 17-13, Ball State scores a game-winning touchdown with 1:53 to go on a 4th and 2. This was really a game that Kent State lost for themselves. And now this is a team that has a lot of work yet to do in terms of winning football games. But they're doing a pretty solid job, I think. I'm really not overly disappointed in what they're doing. Matt Carney has done a great job. There's a reason that they extended him as they did. 3 wins this season. That's more than they've had in the last 2 combined. And also their first wins since 2022. Their first win over FBS opponents since 2022. And they were this close to getting their first win on the road since 2022 when they beat Buffalo. This Kent State team has a long way to go, but they are really looking the part of a team that can win some football games, can maybe ruin a season or two down the stretch here as they get closer, ruin a team with an opportunity to make the MAC championship game. Kent State plays fun football. They're again still learning how to win. Last night it was penalties. Defensive penalties killed them, and they couldn't get off the field. Multiple offsides on 3rd and short, and offsides on a 4th and short. They gave them first down. Multiple personal foul penalties. If they clean this game up, if they clean this one up specifically, but if they clean it up going forward, they could end up maybe being a 4-8, 5-7 team rather than 3-9. There's still, again, a ways to go. Time will tell, but the early signs, the early returns from this Matt Carney era, I'm pretty well behind it right now. I really like what they're doing. A team that I don't like what they're doing so much is NIU. They have really, really fallen off this season, losing 42-3 last night to Toledo. This game was not close, and it never was. Tucker Gleason, 25-31 for 309 and 2 touchdowns. What surprised me is they didn't run the ball very well. Trip Traynor was a leading rusher for either team with 36 yards. Just a dominant effort from Toledo, but Northern Illinois in their final year in the MAC really not putting up much of a fight. Now 2-7, 1-4 on the season. That's your recap of the last couple of nights of action. We've got some games tonight as well. Georgia Southern takes a trip up to Boone, North Carolina for a showdown with Appalachian State. Very excited to see this game play out. App State 4-4, 1-3 in Sunbelt play. Georgia Southern 3-5, 1-3. I think Georgia Southern, a team that was expected to be a little better. They are obviously not, but obviously have not had quite the year that they expected even in-house. App State has had a lot of change throughout the course of the year, moving on to J.J. Cole as the starting quarterback, and so far it's worked. I'm taking App State to win that game tonight. As for UTSA and South Florida, I don't think lightning strikes twice. I don't think UTSA gets another upset. I'm going to take South Florida to win. I don't know if they cover 13.5, but I could see it. That'd be an interesting spot for them. We got some games tomorrow as well, 3 of them, in fact. We previewed one of them, Tulane and Memphis. Houston UCF will play at 8 p.m. on FS1 tomorrow night as well. And then we have Northwestern and USC, 9 p.m. kickoff on Fox. So, exciting couple more days of action before we get to the Saturday slate. Some other news around the college football world. Michigan has decided that they are not going to play in Germany next year. Decided they're going to cank those plans for the time being. They're supposed to play Western Michigan in week 0 next year, and instead have decided just to keep that game in Ann Arbor, still scheduled for September 5th as it previously was. I think the biggest thing is you see the struggles that some of these teams are going through after playing overseas. They go into these foreign countries, play their games, and win or lose, they come back, and we've seen struggles. Iowa State's had their moments this year. Obviously, it's very documented. Kansas State, it's documented the struggle that Florida State had last year, going 2-10 after losing in Ireland. Just teams have not really done well when they've come back from overseas. So with that said, I think it's a right move if you're Michigan, looking forward to next year, looking forward to what they put together going into that season. Because I think that's a year that's kind of the opening of another window for Michigan, maybe be a championship contender with the right moves in the portal, with the right decision-making by head coaches and coordinators. It'll be interesting to watch what Michigan does in that time. They still got playoffs in front of them this year, by the way. Like, there's still a chance they can finish 10-2 and make the college football playoff. So, a lot still in front of them, but definitely interesting news for next season. As for interesting news 2 seasons from now, in 2027, 2028, it's announced Notre Dame and Auburn will play a home-and-home in both of those years. Excited to see that. I think that's a fun matchup. Curious as to who the head coach at Auburn will be. as to whether I'm less or more excited for it, but certainly think it's a fun matchup. It's two teams that we don't really see play very often. Could make for a fun little, again, home and home series between the two. With all that said, let's go ahead and preview Texas A&M and Missouri. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know if I wanted to preview this or not. Again, I said it earlier in the show. I thought I was only going to do 2 this week, but it hit me. It is not out of the question that Missouri can win this game. I mean, let's talk about this realistically. It's not out of the question for Missouri to win this game. It's certainly less likely, especially with the injury to Bo Prabula. It's going to be Matt Zoller's first start as a college quarterback. There's opportunities here for Texas A&M to really blow this game open and take control. But there's things that Missouri does really well too that answer the bell. I think will answer the bell throughout the course of this game. It's going to come down to a few different things. When you talk about this Missouri offense, they run through Ahmad Hardy. It's very obvious they run through Ahmad Hardy. He leads the SEC in rushing with 937 yards so far this season, almost certainly to hit 1,000 this weekend, I think. But it's going to run through him in the sense that it's going to rely on him to help this offense be in successful positions for Matt Zollers going forward. Look, you don't want to be in 3rd and 6 or more going forward this season. You want to find yourself in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 or less, and see if you can convert those. Give yourself an opportunity to utilize play-action passes. Give yourself an opportunity to utilize Ahmad Hardy in the run game, or even Matt Zollers in the run game. Now, I will say, given how thin they already are at quarterback, I don't foresee Zollers being used in the run game. I just don't think it's going to happen. They could, but would you want to risk your quarterback getting hurt? I don't think that's quite the answer. So I think you're going to really key in on the running back getting the football. And then you're going to key in on the passing downs, the 3rd and longs, and you're going to create a lot of pressure. You're going to force him to make a decision quick and hope it's the wrong decision and create a turnover. One thing these two teams haven't done well, either one of them defensively, is create turnovers. 6 turnovers from Texas A&M is tied for last in the conference with Oklahoma and Georgia, funny enough, just because those are 2 of the better teams in the conference. Missouri, not much better, only 7 turnovers forced this season. That just sits above them by 1 spot. The one thing I will say here is that we haven't seen Matt Zollers turn the ball over. Granted, he's played garbage time minutes for the most part. We just haven't seen enough of him. But Marcel Reed, we've seen enough of. And he's thrown an interception against all P4 equivalent programs. And I'm saying that because they have that game against Notre Dame. He's thrown an interception in every game except for the one against Arkansas. So every game against P4 opponents, other than Arkansas, Marcel Reed's due an interception, at least seemingly. Can Missouri create that turnover? Get the crowd into it at home, especially if they create this early in the game and get themselves up by maybe 2 scores, make it a 10-0 game, and then hand it back to Texas A&M and make them come back. That could be an interesting spot. Now, I'm not saying that's how it works out, but that's just a scenario that can go through your mind. When you look at this Texas A&M team, it's all about the defense this weekend. It really is, because one, they can stop the run. They can slow down the run. But I read at the bottom for a very specific reason. Create havoc in the backfield. Get to Matt Zollers. Make him uncomfortable. Make him create mistakes out of him. If you can do that, I think you're in a really good spot. And it's going to come from the defensive end. It's going to come from Cassius Howell, who has 9.5 sacks on the season so far. He is going to be a game wrecker in this one, I think. He's going to get to the backfield. He's going to get to Zollers a couple times. And I think even through that, creating that sense of urgency just from the fact that you can get to the quarterback at any time you want creates a potential for more mistakes. I'm really excited to watch this game play out because I think it's going to be an interesting chess match between this Missouri offense and what they're able to do, how they're able to handle things, and this Texas A&M defense and how much they really key on the run and force passing situations. If they create 3rd and passing downs, 3rd and 7, all the way back to 3rd and 20, we know what they're going to do. It's almost certain. And I would even venture to say they may run a few draw plays on 3rd and 20 just to keep Texas A&M on their heels and maybe create a first down off of that. It's going to be a really interesting cat and mouse game again between the A&M defense and the Missouri offense. Let's shift to the other side of the ball for a second. we talked about what A&M's really good at. We talked about how they're able to get to quarterbacks, Cassius Howell's able to get to quarterbacks. We talked about how Missouri or how Texas A&M could slow the run game and key on the run game. Well, let's go to the other side of the ball for a second because A&M runs the ball very well. They're one of the more successful teams at doing so. They have 200 yards per game rushing. However, this Missouri defense, you see it there, 90 yards a game allowed on the ground. That is concerning if you're Texas A&M because you've relied on the run game, and especially since Le'Veon Moss went down, you haven't been bad by any means. But the running back hasn't created a lot of the rushing yards. It's been Marcel Reed leading the team in rushing at one point. Now, granted, Reuben Owens has led the team in rushing in one of those games. But against Arkansas, 217 rushing yards, 6.2 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. That's your rushing stats. Against LSU, 224 rushing yards, 5.6 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. This A&M team hasn't missed a beat without Le'Veon Moss, seemingly. I wonder if that bites them this weekend. This Missouri team, their defensive line, their linebackers are really solid. I love Josiah Trotter. He leads this team in tackles for loss. There's a lot of potential for this team to come in and create havoc themselves. Keep this crowd in the game. Keep this a low-scoring game. And then win this game late when Zollers, again, finds a way to get comfortable. If you let him settle into the game, it'll be simple for them. Again, put him in successful situations, get him some easy completions, get his confidence going early, and then let it rip because you have some really good receivers who have made big plays all year long. You have a running game that can be successful. If you can utilize this freshman quarterback who I think has potential to be one of the best quarterbacks of this class by the time his college career is said and done, if you can get him comfortable early in this game, he may break out in game 1. And then what happens there? Missouri becomes 7-2 maybe with an upset over A&M. A&M falls to 8-1, and then we're really questioning a lot of things about the rest of the season. This game has potential for upset. I'm not calling the upset. That's not my pick. But I see a world where Missouri can get the win. With that said, my pick for this weekend, I got A&M winning 27-16. I just think that they will get to Matt Zollers. I think they'll create a turnover at some point, maybe even a second turnover at some point in this game that turns this game over, turns this game on its head, gets A&M out front, and allows them to play their game, play it under their conditions. And if that's the case, it's a guaranteed success for A&M. Missouri can do the exact same thing, create a turnover or two, and turn the game in their favor. I just think A&M, I trust them a little more. I trust Mike Elko's defense. I trust this strategy that they're going to put together. I also trust Colin Klein as offensive coordinator. I think he'll get the job done. He'll create successful positions for this A&M offense. So again, A&M 27-16, that would be the under in this game by about 4 points. And it would be an A&M cover. Now, I'm not betting on this game. This game you will not see anywhere near my take 10 this weekend, I don't believe. But I'm very excited to watch it. This is a game that I was, again, questioning. Will I tune into this or not? The answer is yes, I'm going to be tuning into this. I am super excited to see what Matt Zollers looks like in start number 1. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you're taking to win this game this weekend. Thank y'all so much for tuning in again. We've been pretty consistent on views. And I can't be more thankful than that people do, again, want to tune in and listen to me run my mouth about college football. You know, I'm not perfect, and I'm certainly far from it. You'll see it tomorrow when I do my Take 10. Far from perfect this season. But appreciate you guys still tuning in, checking it out every single week, and really excited to continue moving forward. So again, I ask, if you're new around here, please subscribe. Look, over 90% of people who tune into my videos are not subscribed. If we can just cut that down into the 80s, that'd be great. I appreciate you guys so much. We're pushing for 250 subscribers. Hopefully we can get there by the end of the football season, by the end of this month. But look, I'm not greedy. I just appreciate anybody who's willing to, again, subscribe and come back and tune in every time. So thank y'all so much. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Wow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take 10 will come out. Remember, tune in. Live shows, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We preview the entire Saturday slate of football. Sunday, we recap the entire Saturday slate of football. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in, interacting in the chats. It's always a good time. we always have a good day, Saturday and Sundays. So appreciate y'all for that. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day again, and we will see you tomorrow with another episode of Armchair Analysis.